What's up, everyone? Welcome back to CRL. This is Chart Request Live, the show where you provide the requests, we provide the charts. I'm Spencer. This is Patrick Donawilla standing in for JC today. No JC, you got Pat and you got me. Pat, what's doing?
You got me. You got poor man's JC right here.
No, not poor man's JC. You are just regular man's Patrick. Here's the good news. We got a lot of requests to start the show with already, which I like to see. If you have a request, you can submit it by either just dropping a ticker in the chat right here on YouTube, or you can always email us. We go through the email inbox first and then get to the chat second. So the email is questions@stockmarketmedia.com. Let's start with the inbox here. Pat, let's start with the request. I didn't write down who it was from, but the ticker is KAI. KAI.
Oh, wow.
KDant. I don't know what this company is. I'll be honest with you.
Well, hey, it's a nice looking chart. Very nice looking chart. Nice way to start it off. And by the way, everyone knows I like this show a lot. You know, I get a lot of good ideas, a lot of tickers that I'm not seeing. So let's start with this one. We got a weekly chart to start. You know, we'll zoom out big picture. Long-term uptrend, you know, that's number one, right? So we got that check. It's been basing within that long-term uptrend since November 2021. So you have a 2-year base, right, within a structural uptrend. The last 2 weeks breaking out here to all-time highs. You know, this is tough. It's already underway a little bit here. As far as a target, you just fib this base out here. It's almost to 300, 293 here. Now, you know, if it pulls back, I'd ideally like to get it involved like around that 240 level. So I'd like to see kind of a pullback, see a successful retest here, and then. So I don't know if it'll let you in here, but you know, if you were getting in here, would definitely not be long if it falls under like 233 there. That could be kind of a fail breakout, but so far, man, this thing's really taken off.
All right. Sorry, I lost audio there for a second. Like, I know you were talking, but I couldn't hear what you were saying for like most of that. So I'm just gonna assume you had good things to say, and I'm gonna move on because I had no idea what you said. Okay, cool. Let's move on here. Let's look at this one. This is fun. You and I think I've discussed this previously. LOPE, LOPE.
Yeah,
this is Grand Canyon University.
What is going on with these online education stocks? I mean, these things, in our work, we've been seeing a lot of buzz around these online education stocks lately, whether that's Duolingo, Stride, LRN, Coursera, Udemy. These things are definitely in focus right now. There's something going on. I don't know what the fundamental thesis or what could be driving that trend, but it is some sort of trend right now. So this one looks great as well. You have a long-term uptrend, right? And within that, you've been basing for the last 5 years, 5-year base, and you just broke out 2 weeks ago. I think they reported earnings recently. Yeah, it looks like early November here. You got that nice 12% breakout, all-time highs. Hasn't really done much since, kind of weak here. But I think, yeah, as long as it's above that like 130 level, this thing looks good. As far as a price target, we use our Fibonacci tool for that. That gets you up to 178 there. So, you know, if you want to be buying some weakness, if it pulls back to this breakout level, that 130-ish, 132, I think you could be long up to 178.
I was gonna like be a smart ass and look at like how the Grand Canyon University sports teams are doing, but I'm not going to do that anymore. So anyway, the chart looks great. I mean,
Yeah,
clearly.
hey,
So
Spence, are
that's
you
why.
seeing anything on your end as to why these things might be getting so much attention here? Or are they just
Um,
relative strength? I mean, that could be it.
yeah, no, I really, to be honest, I really haven't. I haven't looked super hard. But no, I really have not seen. Usually, when you think like education stocks, you think like the Chinese ones, right?
Right, right. And that one's been getting some buzz too, TAL.
You know what? If I had to guess what this was, there is almost certainly. I think I recall there being some kind of it was like there was like a legislative issue around like for profit universities
Hasn't stopped
and
them.
no, well, no, I think that what this is just a guess. Again, I haven't looked particularly hard here, but I'm guessing if they're all breaking out, then maybe whatever legislation was hanging over the head of this industry has either gone away or was watered down in a way that the industry likes it, or is just done. The unknown is unknown no more, right?
Yeah. I remember
So,
John Oliver.
but that's just a guess. I really don't know. If I had to get, if they're all kind of moving like this, then that'd be my best guess. It's like an industry specific legislative headwind that is maybe not a headwind anymore. I don't
I
know.
see. I see. I know
Just
John Oliver went after these for-profit education companies a few years ago. I remember that.
yes, you did. All right. What about is CBZ? Is that one you want to look at? What the heck what
You
is
know
that?
what, Spence? This one actually showed up on the buzz this week. It
Did
might not
it?
have made
Oh,
the
I
table,
I
but I
probably I
I
probably looked right
remember
past
seeing
it.
this one
Okay.
in the data.
All
And I
right.
remember thinking, wow, what a just persistent, relentless uptrend. I mean, look at this thing. We're going back 20 years here, and this thing has just been steady chugging higher. And here we are at an all-time high today. So if this thing gives you a chance to get in, maybe get in. Really no signs of that uptrend stopping. I mean, you have a little bit of momentum deterioration here, a little bit of a divergence. But you can see those things can persist for a while before they matter. So this is one of those that I think you want to keep in your back pocket for when the broader market sells off, if you do want to get involved. I'm not sure what they do. Do you know?
I think this is a professional services company.
Yeah,
I just looked it up
but
very
I mean
briefly.
they're 3 billion in market cap. This is not tiny.
Yeah, this is a what do they do? Oh, they do like corporate benefits, right? And like that sort of thing.
Okay.
Uh Specifically to agricultural companies, healthcare, oil and gas, real estate. Yeah, okay, they're pretty diversified. So yeah, this is just
Okay.
a corporate financial services not corporate benefits provider, that sort of thing.
I see.
Um yeah. All
Well,
right.
that's
Yeah,
just
we're sorry.
what do we got next?
Next one was Daniel is looking to buy 3 to 9 months calls in KTOS. That's the
Okay.
symbol.
Yeah, it's a defense.
And what's the question? Now that earnings are behind us, I'm interested in what levels to pay attention to. KTOS. This is the is this what is this is this biotech?
No, it's a defense stock.
Oh, wow, way off there. Okay. Oh, right, Kratos. Right, okay. Yes, that's right.
So this one kind of a messy chart. I wouldn't bet against it though. His question, what levels should he be watching? And I think you mentioned 3 to 6 month calls, right?
3 to 9 month calls.
3 to 9 month. So terms of important levels, I would say this 21 level looks pretty important here. And that's been important, it's come into play a few times right here. Yeah, I would say this is an important one to watch. Kind of, that's kind of the next upside level to keep an eye on here. So that's 21. You're at what, 18 now? So it's about 15% higher from here. You know, if you wanted to take profits, if the trade starts working a little bit faster than you had thought initially, that 21 level might be a good place to take it off or at least reconsider. And then if you're above 21, I'd say you probably get to 30 here. This area up here, which is very close to the all-time highs. And if you get that, you probably will get the all-time highs, but has some work to do. I'd say 21 is that kind of an initial target, and then I would say 30 or all-time highs would be that secondary target.
Okay. Giovanni's asking a question that I have asked myself more than once these last few months or so, which is thoughts on buying puts on NVIDIA at these levels because too much AI hype in the stock, or should you leave strong performing stocks alone? Well, the first thing I did when I saw this question was I looked at an options chain because and this is what I've done when I asked myself this question, Patrick, is how much would puts cost me out of curiosity? And they're ridiculously expensive.
Really?
Yeah, if like I just arbitrarily picked February. If you go out, I figure that February is a nice 3-month window, right?
Mm-hmm.
You want to buy the what? You want to buy the 440s? It'll cost you 18 and a half bucks.
Oh man.
You want to buy the 400s? That's $9 right there. In a
So
restaurant.
I mean, he kind
So
of, I think his he was correct in saying you shouldn't short strong stocks. I mean, this is the strongest stock in the S&P 500 right now. And man, do I have a lot to say about this one.
all
So,
right, go. I'll be quiet.
uh,
Go.
yeah, I'll be quick. So you formed this Head and Shoulders, and I mean, my job, right, is to just sit there on Twitter and look at all the charts and see what people are seeing. I have never seen so many people looking at the same pattern. And when too many people are looking at a pattern, they tend to fail. And, you know, I think a lot of people will look at that and be like, oh, see, technical analysis doesn't work, right? When I think a lot of technicians know the pattern's there. So let's see how the market reacts to it, right? And it was, I mean, it was a textbook pattern, right? Opposite of a textbook result. You cracked the neckline, right? And then we went on a 10-day winning streak to all-time highs. I mean, here we are hitting an all-time high for the first time since August today. So I would not bet against that. And another thing, I mean, this is happening at a really important Fibonacci level here. So if you fib out this base here, it hit that 161 extension or 1618 extension. And that's when it kind of started stalling and creating that bearish pattern. And when bearish patterns don't work, that's very bullish. So I would not be betting against this one right now. Again, strongest stock in the market, and just a relentless bid these last 2 weeks. Has not had a lower close in 10 days.
Yeah, as one whole put it in the chat, everyone and their mother on Twitter pointing out that Head and Shoulders in NVIDIA, and then
That's
the
right.
stock
We used it for chart of the day.
squeezed in its face.
A few weeks ago when everyone was fixated on it. And I had a friend DM me and he said, hey, you didn't pick my NVIDIA chart. Somebody else must have been seeing the same thing. I was like, listen, we're all seeing it. We're all watching this movie. And of course, when everybody's anticipating the same thing, no matter what the pattern is, it's not going to work out usually the way everyone thinks.
Okay, so and then there's also the psychological aspect of the question, which was thoughts on buying puts on NVIDIA at these levels because too much AI hype. I always say this. Thinking about betting against like stocks that have done what NVIDIA has done, it usually sounds like a good idea, right? Oh my gosh, like this is totally an irrational move by the market. The market has gotten way ahead of itself. There's absolutely no way this price is justified due to pick your reason, right? Due to earnings, due to whatever, right? Due to industry hype, doesn't matter. This is all hype. It's got to come back down to earth. It can make you feel smart and sound smart, right? But it's
Oh yeah.
very rarely a good idea, and it's extremely hard to do. It is really, really hard to time the market. You basically have to be lucky, essentially, in just timing the market like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, his question's totally valid. Uh,
Yeah,
I do think, I mean, a good reminder is price creates the narrative, right? So,
sure.
why is there this AI narrative right now? NVIDIA's very responsible for that because it's been performing so well. I mean, the whole AI narrative really kicked off after that legendary earnings report in May from NVIDIA. So,
Look,
I
I guess if you buy puts, the worst thing that happens is you know your puts expire worthless and you lose, and that's what your puts expire and you just lost whatever you paid for them.
right.
So it's probably not like the on the spectrum of ideas, it's definitely not the worst idea, right?
Yeah.
That doesn't make it a good idea, but if you want to responsibly bet against Nvidia, that's how I would do it, right?
Yeah.
So
But I think,
um,
the time to bet against it was 2 weeks ago when it had that head and shoulders
yeah,
and then it failed. So that was you got your answer from that.
yep.
You had your chance. It didn't work out. And yeah, I think the path of least resistance higher. I wouldn't be surprised, Spencer, to see this thing at 700 in 6 months from now, 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the request, and then we'll get to the chat. We had a couple more. This is from Hanson, AVPT, AVE Point. This is, I think, this made an appearance in your scan, the Buzz. I think, Pat, a while ago. I think
Yeah.
maybe you didn't. This was a SPAC that has actually had a very nice year, which you can't say about most of them. But
Yeah, and I think that's something that at least me as a chartist and some of you guys should pay attention to is, the SPACs or the recent IPOs that took the bloodbath last year. They all got washed last year, but which ones are actually picking up the slack now? Which ones are actually, digging in? To your point, this one, it has been very strong this year. I like to see with a lot of these names, I like to see that they're above their 2022 highs here, and this one is nicely above it. Did he say anything about time frame or anything like that?
no. Oh wait. Was there a question about? No, there was not. I don't think.
It is a bit extended in the short term. I think here, let's see what the Fibonacci levels bring. Pivot out, high to low. So I think, I mean, that $9 level right here, around here, and that coincides with this gap down. You got to imagine you're long this thing, right? And you've already been dealing with some losses here. And then here, I'm going to guess this is earnings. Yeah, it looks like earnings, right? So you're sitting there long at $9, and then next day this thing gaps down and it never gives you a chance to get back to where it was before earnings. That's what kind of creates that the resistance there. When we get back there, that'd probably be a decent place to take profits, because if you're this guy who's been bag holding, you're a lot more inclined to sell, because for the last year you've been saying, just get me back to break even. I'll never make a bad trade, just please. And there it is. And so yeah, nine would be a tough level to crack. If it does, $9 I think gets you 12.
All right, last one and then we'll go to the chat. This is from Tom. He's asking about AAVE Aero Environment. This is the defense stock. I often forget about this one just because it's a little bit smaller than its peers. A lot smaller actually. But this is a $3 billion defense stock.
Yeah, they're drone maker, I think.
They do a bunch of things. They do drones, they do missiles, they do all sort of things that, war, right? They're in the business of war. So this chart, though, I think is notable because it does not look anywhere close to some of its peers. right? If you pull up some other defense charts.
Yeah, I mean, we looked at that KTOS earlier.
Same story, right? Same story.
Yeah, yeah, this one looks a lot nicer than that one.
Yeah.
But you can see I already have it marked up. This one's been in the buzz, so it's a popular ticker. We initially, I think, recommended a trade idea on it as it was. You can see how I have this here. It was getting real tight here in the summer, springtime actually, getting real tight and consolidating there. Then it finally resolved out of that with a nice breakaway here, and you have resistance or now support at, call it 110, 115, 110. Broke above there, looks like earnings in September, and held that, kind of a little bit of a false move there. The broader market was under pressure. And then I think you got to be looking at 140, 140 for your price target. That coincides with the all-time highs. That thing's probably going to be a magnet. This is a great chart. Very good chart.
All right, let's go to the chat. We got a few here. Pick one of these. Toll Brothers or Lennar. Don't care. And now that it's Kevin, apparently.
We're gonna go with Toll Brothers. We're actually long that one right now. So
Hey.
definitely like the Toll Brothers. You know, home builders were very strong in the first half. They were looking a little rocky there, though.
They were
in the fall here. This is ITB. This is the home construction ETF, which Toll Brothers and Lennar are both a part of. And so we broke out earlier in early summer, couldn't hold it, but you didn't really get that nasty of a failed breakdown. I mean, it wasn't fun, but here we are just ripping right back above that level. And it has had a very, very strong comeback. So you're seeing those kind of former leaders, whether it's home builders or semis, making a really, really nice comeback. If it's above those former 2021 highs, this is ITB, but we'll go back to Toll Brothers here. If it's above its 2021 highs here, gotta err on the long side. Now, as far as targets for Toll, pivot out here. So you're about halfway to the target now. 97, call it 100 even. And that's important psychological level too. Might need some time once it gets there to kind of consolidate before it kind of digest those gains at 100 before it goes higher.
Yeah. Okay. As I'm catching up on the chat, I want to give props to Rachel for reminding me that NVIDIA reports earnings in like a week or two. So definitely don't buy puts on NVIDIA heading into a binary event like that. You can, I mean, I guess if you get lucky, or you can get roasted, right? So
right. I never I've never been good at trading earnings.
Sure. So. Well, that's because there's a crapshoot. All right, let's keep going. We got a few more here. Lazy Beats, what up, boys? What up, Lazy Beats? He's asking about BlackRock, BLK. What is the scenario, in BlackRock?
Vanguard and BlackRock. Did you see that?
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about? The Vanguard BlackRock thing?
No, but it sounds like something that I would like. What is it?
So there was
is it a meme?
He was talking about how he was trying to.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that. Okay, okay, I know what you're talking about.
BlackRock and Vanguard own like all the companies.
Yeah. Every company that you use is owned by the same people. When
really, right. I mean, in reality, they're talking about everyday Americans owning those through the ETFs that BlackRock and Vanguard issued. But anyway, what is a possible scenario for this? So it's kind of a messy chart, despite them owning the world. This is your clear resistance level right here. Kind of just under $800 here. So 750 to 800. But you can see, I mean, it's been rejected there multiple times over the past year. So, that being said, though, it's probably absorbing a lot of overhead supply every time it does wick into that. So that level, you got to imagine, is probably getting weaker and weaker on each touch. So maybe it does get there and maybe it does break out. If it does, I think then you're looking at all-time highs. or just below all-time highs, like 885 here, you kind of have a little area of supply from here. There's stronger charts out there. Not my favorite one, but I wouldn't bet it. I wouldn't bet against it.
All right, we're not going to look at Duolingo. I
Oh
apologize
man, I
to
do love
get
that one though.
to guess we're only because Patrick just analyzed it for his subscribers to the Buzz, which is his premium subscription and newsletter that goes out every single week. So the subscribers got some Duolingo analysis this week, and I don't want to give that away since they just got it.
It would not be fair.
So if you want some Pat's take on Duolingo, sign up for the Buzz. I'll drop the link in the chat. It's like I said, it's Patrick's premium service that he offers, and goes out every single week. And he did look at the Buzz, so I'll drop the link in there. Or he looked at Duolingo. Let's do one more.
Yeah,
let's do one more here. Let's do what is INFA? What is that?
INFA? That was one from the Buzz.
Oh Jesus, no! But we didn't.
This show that we do, CRL, kind of goes hand in hand with the Buzz, right? Because
no, but INFA, maybe it could have been on the table, but it certainly wasn't an idea, was it? Did I miss it?
INFA was, yeah.
Recently?
I'd have to go back and look at the table, but this one looks nice.
Last week? Was it last week?
Yeah, I think it was last week's edition.
Oh, geez. All right, well, there I go.
So right here. But as I was saying, the Buzz kind of goes hand in hand with this too, because we're looking at popular tickers, right? So it's kind of no surprise that there's a lot of overlap there. So if it's above 23, I think that gets you to 30. So and what I did to get there was basically just you take a Fibonacci retracement, draw it from the high to the low, that 38.2 retracement. That lines up perfectly with the August highs here. So that's clear resistance. Broke nicely above that these last 2 weeks. And usually the 0.382 retracement gets you up to this 0.618. And if you get that, then you get all-time highs. So, and then that's a general rule of thumb. I'm just generally speaking here. But I think 23 gets you 30 here.
All right. That'll be a good place for us to wrap it up. As always, if you have any requests for us, you can email us anytime, day or night. The email is monitored constantly, and we do actually write down all the email requests we get and try to answer as many of them as we can on the show. So email us on the screen, questions@stockmarketmedia.com. If we didn't answer your question, I'm sorry. You have to come back on Thursday. We're live doing this every Tuesday and Thursday, 1 p.m. Eastern time. And that's what I got, Pat. Any final thoughts for us?
No final thoughts. I mean, it looks like a bull market. It smells like a bull market.
I just dropped the link to sign up for the Chart Report Private Access, which features the Buzz scan as well as a few others in the chat. Check that out. I'm gonna have a good day. Go make some money. We'll see you guys later.
Cheers. Thanks.